Hello, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to this week's reading vlog. I just said that, it's Tuesday. I'm about to head out the door to my training session, but I figured I should probably get this vlog started at some point this week. So I wanted to update you on what I've read so far this week and let you know what my reading plans are for the rest of the week. So far, this week I read a little bit of, Sarah, maybe prep before you turn on the camera next time. I read a little bit more of Notes from a Small Island. I am up to 37% in that now. I have not yet touched Uprooted this week, but I think I'm going to try to read a little bit more of this today after my training session. And what I've been working on this week is I am already halfway through the audiobook for An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I've been flying through it, mostly because my commute is so long, but I actually did have it on a little bit this morning while I was doing some stuff around the house. So yeah, I'm really liking that a lot. And since I'm probably going to finish that, I think it's a really short audiobook. I think the book is only like 350 pages. The audiobook is only like 8.5 hours. I'm probably going to finish that really quickly. And then I think I'm going to start Mistborn. So yeah, Uprooted, I'm still not sure on it. I'm going to give it a little longer and then it might end up on my on hold / DNF shelf, but we'll see. I just my fingers are itching to pick up something different. This sticking to 3 books at a time thing is really hard for me, which sounds ridiculous if you're used to just reading one thing at a time anyway. But for me, I'm like, but I want to start more. So yeah, especially since 2 of the things I'm reading I'm not super jazzed about. So I don't know. I really need to get better about DNFing. But as of right now, I'm not. So we're going to keep working on those things. I feel like I might be getting sick. I've woken up with a sore throat the past couple of days. So I think today is going to be kind of a chill day off anyway. Like, I'm going to go to my training, and then after that, I think I'm just going to try to relax a little bit. I did want to get some filming done, but I don't know. I'll just see how I feel later. I already edited and uploaded the vlog that's going up today, so that's good. That's out of the way. It might be a reading day today. But we'll see. All right, I'm gonna go to my training now. All right, so I just filmed 2 videos, changed back into my comfy clothes, and now I am eating lunch and watching some booktube, and then I am going to read. I think I'm gonna pick up Uprooted first because of the 2, of my physical book and my ebook. That's the one I'm more excited about, so I'll probably pick that up first. I listened to another probably 10% of An Unkindness of Magicians while I was showering and doing dishes and stuff like that. So I'm 60% through that, I think, now. And it's really good. It's different from anything I've ever read, but I also kind of get, so it's nothing like this, but I get 3 Dark Crowns vibes from it almost, because it's just very brutal and there's the competition aspect. And yeah, I don't know. It's just it gives me vibes from that. And I don't know. Yeah, how many times does it say I don't know? Yeah, but it just reminds me of that somehow. So I'm really enjoying that a lot. And if I had that physically, I would probably finish it tonight. But I can't. I don't want to just sit there and listen to an audiobook, and I don't really have much else to do today that I would be able to listen to an audiobook. I haven't actually looked at the timing of it, but I might even finish that tomorrow during my commute. So we'll see. I'm really enjoying that. That's probably my favorite thing I'm reading so far this week. But yeah, so I'm going to eat my lunch, watch some booktube, and then pick up Uprooted. And hopefully it'll get better, because right now I'm not enjoying it. And just because I want to be one of those annoying people that documents my food, I have a buffalo chicken wrap with spinach, some pickles, some baby carrots, and some chips. That's lunch. It's actually fairly healthy, I think, besides the chips, but I really wanted something crunchy and salty, so chips it is. Okay, so I just went to clean the office a little bit, and in doing so, it involved, when I did my rating my husband's book stash video, he had, like, we had found 4 extra books that he had, and they've just been sitting on the office floor since, because we're not grown adults and we don't know how to clean up after ourselves and put things back where they belong. And I just went to put them back downstairs, and instead of putting them in like the tote that was like buried in the back where they came out of, I was like, oh, I'll just throw them on my bookshelf and then we'll figure it out later. Okay, so anyway, I want to show you my bookshelf down there, and I want to know if anyone would be interested in seeing a like book collection declutter and organization, or like, I don't know, is that what they call like a bookshelf tour or whatever? I have no idea. But let me show you this shelf. So if you're like an organized person, this is probably going to drive you nuts. Like, this is my bookshelf. I mean, well, this is one of the bookshelves that I have. And there's just stuff piled everywhere. And like, this occurred to me because I was trying to stick his books in. Like, you can see this one is his. That one there I shoved in there. And then the other 2 I put down here. But like, this shelf, it's like there's books, and then they're double stacked. Like, there's books behind these books. You can't really see because of the light, but, and then like it's full over here. And then there's also like books and random stuff in front of the books. Like, this whole top shelf is full in the back. And then again, like, I have stuff piled on top and like stuff piled in front. There's books stacked on the top of it. And like, it's just, it's a mess. And then, I mean, beyond this bookshelf, I also have on the other side, there's 1 or 2 totes full of books as well. So yeah, I really need to work on my organization. I see all these people with like really pretty bookshelves, and like they sit in front of these nice bookshelves, and I'm like, first of all, my main bookshelf is in the basement. Second of all, it's a giant mess. And like, so I don't know. You know, sometimes I just feel like my whole life's a mess. And actually, while we're at it, I'll show you, I have like the shelf in the living room that just has like all my mass market paperbacks on it. Okay, so then this is my shelf in the living room, and this is just like all my mass markets. So they're like all the way down the bottom, and then these 2 shelves. And then again, I just get really messy with the top shelf, like, and then above it is just like DVDs, a couple more random books thrown in there and there. And then there's like my TBR jar, family picture from my high school graduation. My husband stuck a football that I gave him on there. And then I have like random Star Wars stuff and a wreath my mom gave me on top. So it's a mess. Everything is a mess. So I know that's just a really random thing to just like throw in the middle of a vlog, but like I said, it just came to me while I was trying to put those books somewhere that wasn't the floor in our office. And yeah, like I've been meaning to reorganize them forever anyway. So I just want to know, like, would that be good content? Would you be interested in seeing me like reorganize and kind of clean out my shelves? I don't know. Just an idea. I know people do videos like that, but like, I don't know if anyone would really be interested in seeing that from me personally. So let me know what you think about that. Maybe making a video about it would be motivation to actually do it finally. But the other thing is that bookshelf that's in the basement, I actually want to move that into the office eventually. Like, your books don't really belong in a basement anyway. When I first moved into the house, the basement was actually finished, but we had a really rough year a few years ago, and like we had our oil tank let out on us, and then so that like unfinished half of the basement, having to rip up carpet and knock down walls and stuff, and then the hot water heater went after that, and that pretty much finished it off. So now it's an unfinished basement, and it's just dirty and dusty and gross, and a bookshelf doesn't really belong down there anymore. But first we have to figure out what to do with my dresser, because this is a small house, and so like our bedroom is really small. So my dresser doesn't really fit in the bedroom with the rest of the bedroom furniture that we have in there, and my husband has a little dresser. So like originally the second bedroom was our guest bedroom, but then I also had like the dresser and the closet were for my clothes. But now we turned it into an office, so a dresser doesn't belong in an office. You know, like a dresser belongs in an office as much as a bookshelf belongs in an unfinished basement. So we're trying to figure it all out. All that to say, if you'd be interested in seeing me do like a clean out and organization of my bookshelves, let me know and I will make it happen at some point this year because I want it to happen anyway. I just have no motivation. All right, back to reading. So I was listening to The Final Empire on my way to work today. Is this a heist book? Have I been led astray? Am I gonna hate this? I don't like heist books, Brandon Sanderson. And I feel like that's what this is turning out to be. I'm not happy about it. But we'll keep going. I'm only like 15% through. And I trust Brandon Sanderson. If anyone can make me like a heist story besides Scott Lynch, maybe I don't hate heist stories as much as I thought I did. What happened to the 60 degrees from last weekend? It's like 15 degrees and windy as like... It's crazy. It's so windy and so cold, and I want it to be 60 degrees like it was last weekend. I don't like having to wear a winter hat in winter. Hey, so I'm just going to wrap up the week real quick. I finished one thing. I got about 25% through another thing, and I'm pretty stagnant on the two other things. So let's talk about the physical book first. I've been working on Uprooted, and I actually thought I was farther in this than I was. I thought I was halfway. I'm really only about a third of the way. I'm still trucking along. I can't seem to make myself put it down, even as like a temporary DNF or like an on-hold book. But I might next week. I don't know. We'll have to see what next week brings. I might end up picking up another physical book and putting this on my on-hold shelf. I'm starting to like it more, but there's still elements that I'm not a huge fan of. Such as the budding romance. I don't know if I really love that. And it's still just as like atmospheric and like that kind of stuff is still there, but I just feel like the characters aren't really developing that much. I don't know. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. A lot of people would have DNF'd this by now, I feel like, but I'm really, really bad at DNFing books, so I'm just gonna probably keep trying to read this. Okay, my ebook, Notes from a Small Island, I didn't read any of this week, so there you go with that. And then for audiobooks, I started and finished An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. That book is amazing. I loved it. My only real complaint was that it wasn't long enough. Like, I feel like it could have been fleshed out more if she had given it like 100, 200 more pages. But that book was great. If you haven't read it, what are you waiting for? It's so good. It's magicians in New York City, but there's this, like, they're part of this thing called the Unseen World, which is all the magicians in New York City. And there's this thing called the Turning, and it is just so brutal, and the stakes are so high, and it was so good. So if you're sleeping on An Unkindness of Magicians, you should read it. It's only 350 pages. The audiobook was 8 hours long, like 8.5 hours. So you should definitely pick it up. It was great. And then I started The Final Empire, and I got about a quarter of a way through that. I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like there's a heist element to it, and if you've watched any of my videos where I talk about how I feel about heists, we went through a rough patch there for a second, the Mistborn and I. I'm not huge on heist stories. That's kind of a buzzkill word for me. I don't like them, but I did have really good luck with The Gentleman Bastards, which is sold as a heist story, so maybe the heist elements of this won't be that bad for me. And I am liking it more as we go along. So yeah, gonna keep trucking along on that next week. And that was my reading for this week. That's all I really have to say, I think. So I will see you next time. Bye.